Hi, everybody. My name is Professor Chima, and I'm your teacher for Introduction to Early World Literature, our course together this semester. In this particular video, I'm going to extend my welcome to the course. I'm really excited to take this journey in early world literature together with you. I'm going to go over the syllabus and go over the course schedule. I'm also going to introduce you to the first week's assignments and ratings. One thing that I want to mention before we get started is that this is a 100% asynchronous course. That means we don't have live in-person classroom meetings, and we also don't have synchronous Zoom meetings. At the beginning of every week, I post the video and I post the readings and assignments, and you're responsible for doing the assignments on your own. So there are definite pros and cons to this format. The pro is definitely that you don't have to commute to class. There are no contradictions between the class and your other classes and responsibilities, such as jobs, internships, and family obligations. However, we also don't have the support of the live classroom. We don't have the community sort of setting of the classroom experience. So this format does ask you to be independent and self-motivated in completing the course. So with that, let's go ahead and talk over the course and let me go ahead and guide you through the way the course is going to be structured. I'm going to go ahead and share my website so that you can see our class Canvas page. So the specific title of our course is Epic and Adventure in Early World Literature. And so the reason I chose this particular theme is because our course readings are going to center around exciting adventure stories in world literature. The global epic's border crossing encourages diverse literary and cultural exchange. Not only is the global epic in world literature shaped by cross-cultural networks of empires, it's incredibly significant because it continues to influence contemporary digital culture through multimedia adaptations such as films, TV shows, video games, and more. This course is going to introduce you to epic and adventure in early world literature through iconic texts like the Odyssey, the Mahabharata, Sunjata, and the Thousand and One Nights. And those are our four core texts. So essentially, in this course, we're going to be examining the literary and cultural traditions of these texts. And we're going to look at the circulation of these texts and interconnected early globalities. We talk a lot about globalization in our contemporary world, but I think something that these texts show us is that globalization has always been a part of world history. And we're going to see the way cultures dialogue and interact and talk to each other through these texts. This course is designed to introduce you to the masterworks in early world literature. It's going to help you apply and learn modes of reading and interpretation for world literature, and it's going to help you situate early world literature within contemporary conversations being shaped by our contemporary multimedia culture. And if any of you have an interest in business and entrepreneurship, this course is going to be incredibly important because it gives you that historical grounding and that context for understanding cultures today. It's going to give you that cultural competence and understanding an interconnected, networked world that you need to be familiar with to be a successful business person, professional person, and a world citizen. So, what are the learning outcomes for our course? Again, reading some of those iconic masterworks in early world literature and positioning them within their cultural and historical contexts. Learning some of those themes, those core themes of early world literature, including epic and romance genres. It's analyzing strategies of digital and multimedia adaptation for early world literature texts. And it's also developing skills of critical thinking and communication through the different readings and assignments that I give you over the course of our semester together. So the reading list, essentially, you don't have to purchase or buy anything. I provide you all the texts in PDF format. If you are the kind of person who wants to just have a print copy for your own collection, that's fine. And in that case, I'm going to guide you to purchase the Norton Anthology of World Literature, Volume 1, edited by Martin Puckner. But again, you don't have to. I provide you everything in PDF form, so I got you on that front. So, however, you will have to rent probably at least one film. We're going to be watching two films this semester. The first is the Odyssey, and this is free, I believe, on YouTube. It's the 1997 version. So recently I found out that Christopher Nolan, who's the director of Batman, is producing his own version of the Odyssey, his own film version of the Odyssey for 2026. However, since that's not out, I really can't give you that version, though I'm super excited about watching it. So, but I will be giving you the 1997 version, which again is excellent also. And at the very end of the semester, we're going to be watching the Disney Plus film, The Black Panther, which is an adaptation of one of our world literature courses. So if you don't have Disney Plus, you may have to purchase this and watch it on another platform. So essentially, the main grade assignment components for our semester are the reading quizzes, which are 35% of your grade, the reading journals, which are on the Canvas discussion posts, which are 25% of your grade, and then two exams, the midterm exam and the final exam. So I'll cover these 2 points later, but just as an explanation, for the reading quizzes, since we don't have an in-person classroom, that means we don't have the in-class discussions that really help you read, that really help you internalize and engage with the text that we're reading. So this means that the reading quizzes are important and are an important way of assessing your learning and engagement with the texts. So essentially, every week, alongside the reading, I'm going to be giving you a reading check quiz for you to test and assess your learning that you've been doing through the reading of the primary text. The reading journals, again, I occasionally give you reading journals, and those are just short blogs that you guys write in reaction to one of the core themes that we've been reading from our primary literary texts. We do have two main exams in this class, but you're not going to be taking them in person. The midterm exam and the final exam will be given on as essentially Canvas quizzes, and they'll be open book. There will be a time limit, but they'll be open book, and you can do them, at home as you're going to be doing all the assignments. So one thing that I should mention is that it's important to keep up with the weekly readings and assignments in order to ensure that you guys do a good job on the midterm and final. It's almost impossible. Well, actually, it is impossible to basically not really engage with the weekly assignments and expect to do well in the midterm or final. So you will be having to, you have to kind of build up to that knowledge to be able to kind of succeed on those two major exams. I'm going to go ahead and pull back up a little bit and sort of mention two things that are important as an approach towards this particular class. So in a regular in-person class, attendance and class participation are important. However, since we're 100% asynchronous, the way you signal yourself to be a class citizen, somebody who's engaged with the class and committed to the class, is by just doing the work on time, by being present, by being engaged and interested in the class and course materials. Basically watching the videos that I upload on the Canvas modules on time, doing the readings on time, and also taking care of the assignments on time. If there are any questions that you guys have, I expect you guys to be proactive in letting me know, and I'll explain how to do that in just a second. The second main thing is having that respect for one another and for diverse points of view. One of the main benefits of the class is that it gives you an exposure to some of the core cultures in our world today and gives you that competence to be able to understand those cultures, which you need again as a world citizen, as somebody who's going to be working as a professional in a globalized world. So connected with that is having respect for one another's diverse opinions, right? So essentially, it's going to take the form of having that openness and that open-mindedness towards one another's points of view in the reading journals. In each reading journal, I ask you guys to read at least 2 or 3 class peer writings and to leave comments. And so I want to see that aspect of respect and openness for different cultures in the reading journals and in the work that you guys produce. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll down. My late work policy is that I don't really accept late work. If something is late, it gets lowered 1/3 of a letter grade each day that it's late. And however, if there's something that's going on, you have a sports event or there's something major coming up, then let me know ahead of time. And I'm happy to work with you in terms of giving you that flexibility in completing the assignment. And also that said, if there's an emergency, then obviously, that's fine. I'll work with you on that. I won't be imposing any penalty for emergency related delays in completing the work, but I will be asking you for documentation. So let's go ahead and talk over the plan and the course schedule for the semester. So one thing that I also do want to mention is that the readings that I have here are subject to change. So if I get a sense of, you guys needing additional time on something, or maybe breaking up a reading and kind of spreading out the page allocation, or if I get a sense that you guys need a different sort of movie adaptation than the one I've assigned, things like that, I will be making those kinds of changes. So those kinds of changes will be marked in the weekly homework emails that I send out. So at the end of every week, I send out a very detailed email listing the homework for the following week. And so you do want to be checking those emails from me very regularly in your Canvas inbox. And so the specific page numbers, the assignments, if there's a change in the due date of a certain assignment, all of that is going to be in the weekly homework emails. So also, as a way to make it easy for you, I also copy and paste the homework emails on the announcement page of our Canvas website. So we obviously don't have anything right now, but it's going to look like something like this, right? So if you need to look up the homework for like 2 weeks ago and you don't want to scroll through your email, you can go to announcements and you'll find the homework, right? Like listed by date. So let's go back to syllabus. All right. So again, weekly homework emails, very important, right? The most up-to-date information on your homework and assignments will be on there. So I also do want to explain how to read these columns, right? So the date, essentially, we don't have the live classroom, but the date essentially is going to be the week one of the semester, week two, and so on and so forth. So the two columns on the right are going to be everything that's due within that week. So for instance, within week one, I would expect you to get introduced to the syllabus and the course policies. I would expect you to read from these pages within the Odyssey, which is our very first text. And I would expect you to watch this particular video that's supporting your learning on the Odyssey. And so the due date are the specific assignments that are due within week one. So again, within the first week, I would expect you to have watched my welcome video, this particular video, and to have read over the syllabus. I would expect you to complete eQuiz 1, and I would expect you to complete RJ 1, Reading Journal 1, right? And the specific due dates are listed next to the assignment. And so same for week two, we're going to continue reading the Odyssey, like within week two of our semester. This is the reading that's due. And then I'm also going to be assigning you Diane Coteau's article, How Resilience Works. Within week two, I would expect you to watch my week two video to complete the e-quiz by this particular date. So a quick note also about the videos, I don't have a video every week. I normally have 1 or 2 videos assigned in every single unit. However, sometimes I'll feel that you might need an extra video. So again, those kinds of changes will be listed on the homework email. So let's go ahead and run over the way the course is going to be structured. So our first unit is Ancient Greece, right? And we're going to start with the Odyssey. Week 3, we're going to continue with the Odyssey, and then we'll wrap up the Odyssey at the end of January. Our second unit is going to be Ancient India, that we're going to start with the Mahabharata, one of the two main classical Indian epics. So you're going to read the Mahabharata, you're going to watch these supplementary videos. Week 5, continue reading from the Mahabharata. Week 6, continue reading the Mahabharata. Week 7, I'm going to give you the Bhagavad Gita, which is an ancient Indian poem, which is based around the characters from the Mahabharata. It's basically a dialogue between the god Krishna and the hero Arjuna. And so again, these are characters which you're going to meet in the Mahabharata, and so these texts are linked. And so that's what we're going to be reading for week 7. Week 8, you're going to be preparing for the midterm, right? And complete the midterm, right, by the end of the week, by February 28th. The next week, obviously, spring break. Take time off, enjoy, let your hair down, right? When we come back, we're going to be starting our third unit, which is the early modern Middle East with 1001 Nights. So we're going to be reading the frame tale of 1001 Nights and also the tale of Sinbad the Sailor. Week 10, we're going to continue reading Sinbad the Sailor. Week 11, we're going to we're going to move on to our last unit. I'll have that marked by the end of today, which is on pre-modern Africa. And we're going to do that with the Epic of Sunjata, an epic of Old Mali. So week 11 again, we're going to start with Sunjata, and I'm going to have you watch these two videos. Week 12, continue with Sunjata. Week 13, continue with Sunjata. Week 14, I'm going to have you watch the Disney movie The Black Panther, which is actually an adaptation of Sunjata. And so we're going to have fun with that. And at the very last, week 15, I'm going to have you prepare for the final exam. And you'll complete the final exam again, an open book exam through Canvas by Monday, April the 28th, which I believe is the last day of the semester. And that's essentially the plan for this particular semester together. You can go ahead and read the rest of the policies on your own. I want to also show you the modules right here. So they will be online very soon. And so you can access all the readings, all the PDFs, all the assignments here. E-Quiz 1, Reading Journal 1, the video, the Odyssey, the PDF of the Odyssey, all available over here. An additional thing that I do want to explain is the class Google Doc. So I'm going to be sending you very soon an invitation to join the class Google Doc. And so what this is that in addition to my weekly office hours, which are by Zoom appointment, I'm creating this class Google Doc to help answer any questions that you may have about the reading. So again, like, if anything comes up about the reading that interests you, or you may find a certain encounter or some detail or something that you read confusing, so you would go ahead and kind of list your question down here. Include your name, include the date, and write the question down. And I will try to take care of each question within the week. So again, I'm always available to help you guys through the material. And my office hours are by Zoom appointment. And the reason I do that is because, in my experience, it's very rare to find a 2-hour block of time that works for the majority of my students because everybody has such different schedules. So if you need help with anything, you would just email me, send me a message through Canvas inbox or my FGCU email, which is listed at the top of the syllabus page. And I will set up an appointment with you within the week, and we'll talk over whatever question or concern you may have. As an additional support to that, the class for Google Doc is there to, again, help you with any questions. You might be reading something and you're like, hey, why does this character behave this way? Or what's happening here? There may be some interesting cultural concept that I'm not really grasping. So Professor Chima, could you help me understand this a little bit better? So I'll pop those questions down here and it's available to everybody so that we can see each other's answers, because chances are if you have a question, somebody else has a question on the same topic as well. So with that, that's the end of my welcome video. I just want to mention that, again, I'm excited to take this journey with you asynchronously in spring 2025. I look forward to covering these important cultural concepts and just reading some of the most iconic and cool texts in world literature ever written. With that, I'll see you guys next week. Take care and cheers.